What's up, my Bearder Bros? Bearder Maniac here with an NFL Week 1 game pick video, and what we are going to do for the season is we are normally going to upload on Wednesdays our picks for the week, but this week we are uploading on Tuesday for the Destiny 2 release is tomorrow, so tomorrow I will be too busy uploading other stuff to upload this. And of course we're going to upload on Wednesdays before the Thursday night game. That way we don't do any cheese. We're going to do this all legit. I'm going to continue this franchise. I'm in Jim Irsay right now. Screw me. I'm going to force wins every week according to my predictions. And then at the end of the year, we're going to see how different the league would look compared to the results I had picked. So that's going to be interesting for sure. Okay, first game we got here. I'd say the Patriots are going to win. Why? I'm not sure how the Chiefs offense is going to look without Macklin. Spencer Ware going down, I feel like it's going to hurt enough. Granted, I know the loss of Julian Edelman is going to hurt the Patriots, and their defense is suffering from some injuries as well. But I just feel like the Chiefs offense doesn't have enough, even with Tyreek Hill, to counter the power of the Patriots offense with new addition Brandon Cooks, Rob Gronkowski. Jets, Bills. This one's tough. To not laugh at the fact that anybody thinks the Jets might actually win. Falcons, Bears. Now, I'm going to pick the Falcons here, mainly because of their high-powered offense and their super dominant young defense. But I wouldn't sleep on an upset from the Bears, because the Falcons could be suffering a hangover from the Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl hangover is a thing. And Jordan Howard is a really beast running back for the Bears. They're going to be starting Glennon, but who knows? Trubisky could be thrown in after an injury. Something could happen. They got some nice receivers in Kevin White. I think he's underrated, mainly because of health concerns. And they have a couple other guys. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but they did sign in free agency. I think they could pull the upset, it's mostly depending on injuries. If the Falcons stay healthy, I don't think they lose that one. Ravens, Bengals. Now, this one's interesting. You have Joe Mixon, Jeremy Hill, Giovanni Bernard. And then you have Terrence West and Danny Woodhead. I feel like Macklin's going to give the Ravens an edge where Burfict is suspended. But quarterback-wise, they're even. Running back-wise, I think the Bengals have the advantage. Receiver-wise, I think the Bengals have an advantage. Although I'm not sure. Defensively, though, the Ravens are good. But I'm going to pick the Bengals just because they're playing at home. It's a pretty even matchup, in my opinion. I'd say the Bengals have a 58% chance of winning, so it's kind of close. Steelers, Browns. Deshaun Kaiser. I feel bad for him. I mean, he is going up against the Steelers defense that's not as dominant as others, but he has to watch that offense when he's on the bench. Maybe he'll learn something. Who knows? Cardinals, Lions. Now, this should be a good one. The Lions might be sneaky good this year if Amir Abdullah can stay healthy, but the Cardinals do have Larry Fitzgerald, David Johnson, and their defense is amazing, so I'm going to have to go Cardinals on that one. Jaguars, Texans. We have a young upstart offense, even though it has Blake Bortles, and they have a decently good defense. Only thing that concerns me is Houston's offense. Their defense is dominant. I don't know if Jacksonville can hold them back and actually score, but with Houston's offense, I know they got DeAndre Hopkins. I believe Will Fuller's still injured, but the Jags did pick up AJ Bowie, so he might be one-on-one with DeAndre. So thinking about this, I'm going to have to go with J.J. Watt. I believe he clutches it with a strip sack from Bortles to win the game. This one's also a tough one, but I'm going to have to go Bucks. Just because I believe the additions of T.J. Ward, Deshaun Jackson, O.J. Howard, it will prove too much for Dolphins defense, considering they did lose their starting middle linebacker and had to sign someone to replace him. And the Dolphins offense does look really good with Jay Ajayi, Jarvis Landry, and Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker, almost criminally underrated depending on who you talk to. Other people who actually really pay attention to football know how good he can be. But then again, it is hard to get a lot of attention when you're playing opposite Jarvis Landry. But he should see a lot of one-on-one matchups. But Jameis Winston, Mike Evans, personally Mike Evans to me is a top 4 receiver in the league. He's big, he's tough, and he can get that ball in triple coverage if he has to. Some of the traits I look for in receivers. Raiders, Titans. Now this one's going to be hard because the Raiders having a really good offense, of course, with Carr, Cooper, Marshawn Lynch. Don't know how he'll perform after being away for a year. You have the Titans with a super young defense, signing Logan Ryan, getting rid of McCourty. You have some young wide receivers. Tajay Sharp, I believe he's either injured or going to be limited this week. But Marcus Mariota, great young quarterback. You got Khalil Mack on the other side. The Raiders defense does look suspect in the secondary, but so does the Titans. But the Titans have a great offensive line. Oh, I'm going to go upset here. I'm going to pick Titans in the upset. Eagles, Redskins, very unknown factors in the NFL this year. How will Blunt do with the Eagles now that they cut Matthews? How will they do without Jordan Matthews? But their defense did get a lot better with Ronald Darby. The Redskins still have Jordan Reed, but he struggles to stay healthy. They cut Matt Jones, but he was a 5th string. They do have Perrine, who they drafted, who I believe is their backup running back. They have some good wide receivers with Terrell Pryor, but can he keep? In the end, I just don't think the Redskins have enough weapons, or at least I don't see enough from them. Kirk Cousins is good, but does he have enough around him is a question. And now this one, it's sad to watch, honestly. You have the Colts who are without Andrew Luck, and you have the Rams who will 99% chance be without Aaron Donald. So you have the suspect Colts defense. It's always suspect if it's the Colts defense against people with the likes of Sammy Watkins, Todd Gurley, Goff in his 2nd year. He could be getting better. Will Tolzien be playing bad enough that they put Jacoby Brissett in a limited package in the game to try to get him back? The Colts do have Frank Gore, T.Y. Hilton, but they did lose Philip Dorsett, even though he was disappointing so far since drafted. It will be interesting to see. I'm going to go with the home team because I believe the Rams have a pretty good defense. Like, their defense is solid. Even without Aaron Donald, I believe their offense can muster enough. It's going to be probably the most disappointing game to watch on TV. Actually, no, this is going to be pretty disappointing, but I'll get to that in a second. Next, we have Seahawks Packers. Good game. Seahawks defense looks as dominant as it ever has. They traded for Sheldon Richardson and gave up Jermaine Kearse and a couple of draft picks. And you have Packers with Aaron Rodgers and Martellus Bennett coming from a Super Bowl championship. You have Ty Montgomery in his first full year acclimated to a running back position. No more Eddie Lacy, so you don't have to worry about that. Their defense looks young and solid. But the Seahawks defense, I think, is too much for the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And typically over the last few years, the Packers have been getting off to slow starts. I don't think it's going to be like 38 to like 10 or whatever. I think it's more so going to be like a 27 to 25 kind of game. But I think the Seahawks just have that edge with Sheldon Richardson, Bobby Wagner. I can name everybody, but you already know. We have Panthers, Niners, hands down, Panthers here, hopefully. You got Christian McCaffrey. I believe he's going to have a big game. 49ers defense, their defensive line looks to be their strength. So I believe they're going to swing out Christian McCaffrey, use him in the receiving game to make the defensive line hesitate. And then they're going to probably try to pound the ball. Cam Newton's going to play probably a little safe to start the season so he doesn't get beat up like he did last year against the Broncos. 49ers looking decent. I don't know how good Hoyer can do against the Panthers front seven, but I don't think it will be as lopsided as the initial on paper look. Granted, Kyle Shanahan, after the Super Bowl, will he be suffering a hangover? Will he be scared to call certain plays? We'll see. Giants Cowboys, this is an interesting game to pick because I have not heard anything pertaining to the fact if Ezekiel Elliott is going to remain suspended or not. But even him suspended or not, I'm going to have to pick the Giants. They beat the Cowboys in both games last year. Dak Prescott is a nice young quarterback. You got Des Bryant, one of the better receivers in the league, but that defense just looks so bad. I don't know if they can keep up with Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall. And then you have their defense with Eli Apple, Landon Collins, Jason Pierre-Paul. Their defense, I think that their defense is too much, even for Dallas's high-powered offense. Especially if they're losing Ezekiel Elliott. If Elliott's in it, I'd probably lean to the Cowboys like a 51% chance, but with him possibly out, I'm going to lean towards the Giants about like a 54% chance. So it's basically just 50-50 at this point. And then one of the more interesting matchups that everyone's going to be able to see, Adrian Peterson returning to Minnesota, but I don't think he's going to get as much playing time as everyone thinks. So it's not mainly that. What I think is going to determine this is the fact that Willie Snead from the New Orleans Saints is suspended. Brandon Cooks got traded in the offseason. So does their offense still have enough to make up for their defense? The Vikings do have, I want to say Devontae Booker, but I'm pretty sure it's not who they got. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names of the rookies. I'm still trying to get them packed down. They do have Latavius Murray at running back. Sam Bradford is getting better in their system. He should be able to have a good game. The Vikings defense is good, but is it good enough? That I do not know. I'm going to have to go with Vikings at home just because they are at home. It's going to be a good game, though. Chargers, Broncos. I don't know, actually. I don't know who I want to go with here. I'm just going to run down the conversation a little bit. We have Trevor Siemian. I wouldn't say average. I'd say an above average quarterback in the league. Not that much above average, but just right above average. You have him. You have C.J. Anderson at running back. Demaryius Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders at wide receiver. Your tight end position is a little suspect. On defense, you have Von Miller, Aqib Talib, Chris Harris Jr. You did just get rid of T.J. Ward, so how will the young guy fill up? You think he's going to fill in nicely. But you do face a high-powered Chargers offense with Melvin Gordon, Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates, Hunter Henry, Tyrell Williams, and Mike if he's healthy. And the Chargers also do have a really criminally underrated secondary with Verrett. And they also have a really good front seven with Ingram and Bosa. I'm going to go upset here. I'm going to go upset with Chargers just because I don't know if the Broncos... To me, the Broncos' offensive line is suspect. I don't know how they're going to fare against Bosa and Ingram. I'm probably overthinking it here. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is what I think for Week 1. And after the video, I'm going to simulate this so the season will stand at my predictions, and we'll see how we did next week at the start of the video, and then we'll go on from there. If you guys like the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you are new, if you want to see any more of my picks in the following weeks. Also, if your choice differs in any of these games, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know why you picked who you did. And unless you picked the Jets, then get the fuck out of here. I'm kidding, you're welcome to. Everyone's welcome. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.